I'm looking at a community, like I said, specifically at OSU. Uh, the design world is a large place, and when coupled with OSU, the real area that I'm looking at is where these two places overlap. If we zoom in a little bit closer, we can see that there's a lot of different areas to look at. And as you might be thinking at this point, I hate to tell you, but no, they're not olives. Instead, they are the colleges and the administration of those colleges at OSU. So when looked at together, I'm really looking at the in-house designers of OSU that are within the administrative portions of the university. These are the people that I will be looking at in my exploratory study. The participants of my exploratory study, however, are not all of OSU in-house designers. Instead, they are six mighty people at this point. Specifically for this study, though, I looked at four of those people. Participant 1 is a senior level manager of OSU communications. He works globally for all of OSU and reports directly up to the senior administration of the university. Participant 3 is a female senior level designer within one particular college. Her main goal is to talk about that college to prospective students and to the rest of the university. Participant 4 is at nearly the same level as Participant 3. He works within a particular college and maintains responsibilities within one group. And then Participant 5 is on the lowest end of this thing. She is in a non-management role at the university. She's sort of on the lowest end of the totem pole, I guess you might say. These four participants represent my pool for the exploratory study only, and you may ask yourself then, I said 6, so where are participants 2 and where are participants 6? These two participants were talked to very briefly at the beginning just about ideas of in-house design. They were not approached for this exploratory study. Data collection method. For the four participants that were included in this study, I had an individual session with each of them except for participants 3 and 4 who requested that they be within the same session. Each of these sessions was about 35 to 55 minutes long. They were audio recorded during the session, and each session comprised of an introduction to my area of research, which you just heard, and then 2 interpretive collage activities comprised of 1 diagram and a set of sticky notes, and then some follow-up questions after each of the activities. Activity 1 was comprised of a bullseye hand-drawn on an 18 by 24 inch sheet of newsprint. The bullseye that you see before us is a good representation of that. The center of the bullseye was to represent what is most important to the participants, and as they got further away from that center, things would become less important. The set of stickies that was used in this first activity was a list of concepts. They were all the same color, and they were meant to be very broad-based. So things like centralization, collaboration, operations, print solution, individualism, interaction design, workflow, things that were big. And it also included things like interdepartmental cooperation, the role of design at OSU, and the future of design in general. Activity number 2 was on the same size piece of newsprint, 18 by 24 inch, and there was a list of numbers, 1 through 10 on there. These numbers were to represent the 1 being the most time spent on an activity and 10 being the least time spent on an activity. They were provided with a secondary set of post-it notes, these post-it notes this time representing specific concrete tasks that one might do on a daily basis. The yellow post-its were to represent management tasks. The green ones were to represent accounting type tasks. The blue ones were to represent design-oriented tasks, and the pink ones were to represent marketing-oriented tasks. Participants weren't told this in the beginning. They were more just given these in small groups, and they were to figure them out on their own. All of them were pretty much able to figure out what they were. They were, however, all given these color-coded Post-its. At the end of the first activity, a couple questions were asked. One was, what perspective did you look at this from? Did you apply the Post-its from a global perspective at OSU? Were you thinking about OSU on the whole? Or were you looking at it from an office or personal perspective? The other one was, if you could identify 3 of the most important concepts on this map, what would they be? After the second activity, a couple questions were also asked. What of these numbers comprised your daily activities? This one was on the fly. This question came up on the fly, as in I expected 1 through 10 to only be one day of activities, when in reality the participants looked at it as all their activities that they ever do, and a smaller set of these, say 1, 2, and 3, might comprise their daily activities.